On one chilly October evening, two lovers sat with one another, blissfully content and very much in love.
I'm just so very in love with you.
I'm in love with you too. I can't picture spending my life with anyone else.
However, little were they aware that their blissful exchange was being watched. The next morning, the Hoover thought back on what he had seen the previous night.
I wish I had somebody to love,
sighed the Hoover.
It can be so lonely being a machine.
Left alone to his own devices, the Hoover began to drift into a daydream of what it would be like to be in love. What it would be like to have warm, gentle fingertips caress his cold metal shell. How it would feel to be looked upon with adoring, kind eyes. To be touched, not with the intention to be used for sucking up dust from the floor, but with devotion, patience, and trust. To be told that he was the centre of someone's world and that they loved his rubbery wheels, his long wire cord, and his spacious Hoover bag. He dreamt of candlelit dinners, taking her hand and leading her to the dance floor, of gentle kisses.
I can't ever love you because you're just a machine.
She is right. How could someone ever love me?
He thought.
I'm only over. I don't have feet to take a girl dancing with. But most importantly, I don't have a beating heart to love with. All I am is steel and wire. What gives everyone else a right to find companionship but me? How dare life be so unjustly unfair? If only I had a heart.
The Hoover began to become plagued with jealousy. By the time Dan came up the stairs and plugged the Hoover into the wall and began to clear his room of the week's collected dust and debris, the Hoover was so full and bursting of anger, he turned on him. And in a fit of pure rage at the injustice of life, sucked out each and every single one of Dan's organs into his Hoover bag, until Dan was nothing but an empty shell of skin and bones.
Where are we?
Said Dan's internal organs with alarm. This was not the fleshy vessel they were so used to inhabiting for the last 19 years.
Why is it so cold in here and hard?
Whispered the heart to the liver.
It's so small and cramped.
Exclaimed the stomach to the kidney.
I want to go back home.
But the Hoover paid no attention to the organ's panicked comments. He was distracted by a strange and unfamiliar feeling. Blood being pumped through his machinery. Adrenaline began to rush through his wiring systems. Breath began to fill his new lungs, and finally the Hoover realized.
I have a heart. A real beating heart. This is what I needed all along. At last I am capable of being in love.
Blood rushed around his system, beating passion, adrenaline, and excitement through his wires. He couldn't contain it any longer. He was ready to go out into the wider world and at last find love with his new beating heart. However, when looking upon the bloody murder scene in front of him, the Hoover began to feel something he had never been able to feel before. Empathy. Now that he had a beating heart, he could feel all the other emotions that come along with being able to feel love, guilt, regret, and heartbreak.
Who knew love could be so painful?
Exclaimed the Hoover. Being able to love had come with the price. Heartbreak. Surveying Dan's lifeless body, the Hoover began to cry. He felt the full force of regret come seeping through his wiring.
How selfish I have been.
He wailed.
Oh, what I would do to not have a heart.
Burn up with the water, the floods around the plains, the planets in rows.